Hi there, Anand Houston here. Have you ever tried something? Have you ever dreamt and believed and hoped for a future to live in a way, to experience something that maybe you'd never experienced before? In this video here, I want to speak to my former investors, customers, employees, the people that have interacted with me over the last 1.5 to 2 years. And I want to share, what is it like to be labeled a con man when your startup fails? You see, it's something that I do my best to stay positive, to stay as optimistic as possible. And the fact is that business can be challenging. It's something where I have operated by a series of values, a mission, a purpose that has led me for my entire adult life. And it's something where one of my dear friends pointed out to me recently that of the content I'm putting out here, this vlog that I've been doing, that while I speak to and she can see the progress of me communicating some of the path and the process I'm going through, I haven't actually spoken directly to the biggest component of what is currently driving me the most right now. And that is how I make things right. So I make this video because right now I know that there's quite a bit of negativity out there. Anand Houston, scam artist, con man, Medusa marketing scam, Kraken Design Co. scam. These things are going out there. And I realize that not a lot of people actually know who I am, what's happening. Who is it that put this stuff together and what is being done right now to be able to make things right? And so I make this video because for the last 5 months, ever since the proper and true collapse of the former business that I created, the startup that I made, that we had our first full year in business last year, I make this video because I want to share what that is exactly. So that way, whatever opinions or emotions or feelings a person has, there's able to be something that someone can look me directly in the face and understand and to hear what actually happened. So I actually took some notes because there's 5 main points I want to go through. 1, who is this message for? I want to break down exactly who I'm communicating with and the intention behind my messaging. 2, many of you don't know who I am. Like, just some random dude that popped up and, it's something where there's no real person. Like, guys, I'm a human being, as fallible and fragile as any other person that walks this earth. 3, what actions are being taken to make things right for every single person that was involved previously, and how does this affect the future? What is the intention? What is the point of what's happening? 4, what is it that we're going to be doing next? How is this actually happening? And there's actually a benefit and an opportunity for everybody here to gain along this amazing journey. And last but not least, how this applies to you. How it can be utilized in your life to be able to leverage the story and the experience of everything involved to be able to maximize your purpose, your passion, whether it's a goal or a vision or something that you're going after. I want to speak to what does it take to have a mission, to go for it, to fall flat on your face and to get back up, stronger, wiser, and better than ever. And so, first of all, who is this for? This message is for, 1, anybody that has been negatively impacted by Medusa Marketing, by Kraken Design Co., or perhaps even by me personally. Guys, it's something where I am not perfect. And I have worked and I have done amazing, incredible things. I have made my clients many millions of dollars. And unfortunately, I've also lost clients many tens of thousands of dollars. And I share this because I'm here to get real. I don't know what standard business protocol is, and I don't know how the general operations of business are. But I do know what my heart tells me. And right now, my heart says that I should share. I should be vulnerable. I should be willing to show up as I am. And so, this message is for anyone who invested in one of my companies. This message is for the customers of Medusa Marketing, of Kraken Design Co. This message is for the staff, anybody that was involved that maybe has some back pay or hasn't received the full amount of what they're waiting for. It's for the suppliers, the vendors, the people that had helped to keep the businesses flowing and are maybe waiting for a check. It's also for the landlord. I I appreciate you. You believed in me, and I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten about anybody. Make sure I didn't forget anyone. No. This message is for everybody involved. Not just people directly involved, but indirectly. My friends and my family, who I haven't actually had a chance to communicate with much, because for the last 18 months I have been working around the clock. Lately, the last 6 months, I've been working about 18 plus hours a day, every single day, and not in a healthy way. It has been stressful. It has been a grind. It has been giving up and sacrificing everything. And guys, it's not productive. I want to make sure that I give everybody the best shot of things being right. And where that starts and how that happened, I'm going to share specifically exactly how your money gets returned, exactly how things get turned back, and how this isn't just another business failure, a fly-by-night company where someone is in over their head and then they disappear without any consequence. No, guys. This is going to be going full circle. It's going to be happening. And it's something where it starts off because it comes from my nature of who I am and why I do what I do. So I'm going to start off. I'm on in Houston, 26 years old, grew up in Dallas, Texas. I didn't go to college. I was intending to study materials engineering. I actually wanted to be a physicist. Particle physics is a passion of mine, still is. And business was a way to be able to move towards that. See, when I was young, my father passed away. And unfortunately, he left at a very young age. Not my biological father, the man that I grew up with, seeing as a role model, as that male figure that was there consistently throughout my childhood. And this isn't the normal cadence of positivity that I communicate by in these videos, so bear with me because, again, I'm coming from a place of authenticity and vulnerability. It may not be normal. I do believe it's going to be useful. Because, guys, there's always going to be two sides of a coin. There's going to be that pleasant side that we typically like to show on social media, the smiles that we see. Yet I can assure you that every single successful person, every single human being walking around us has a story. As they said in the church I went to, we each have our own cross to bear. For me, it happened when I was a teenager. John, stepfather, the father that I knew, he died in front of me. I watched it happen. And it was a tragic, heart-wrenching experience that massively impacted my life. And I share this with you because it's something that I carry with me. Every single day, it reminds me of why do I do what you do. And when it comes to making a business, when it comes to pursuing a goal or a dream, a mission or a vision, whatever it is that allows you to wake up in the morning and get out of bed to accomplish something, there's always a reason. And for me, big reason for me is my family, my future, the world around us. Because John had been left far too early. And I was fortunate because before he died, I got to speak with him. We were in a very bad place as a family, financially, emotionally. Things were in shambles. And I had the blessing to, right before he passed away. And I'll have a separate video to talk about this, but it's something where things were dark. At that time in my life, I was struggling with massive manic depression. I was suicidal, struggling with ADD, ADHD, and a variety of other mental conditions. It was not a happy place or time, not just for me, for the entire family. And I made a decision that I was going to pursue what I felt inside of me was my purpose. And that was to create an infrastructure that could bring the world's greatest ideas to life. I knew that so many people didn't have the opportunities that we do here in the United States. I knew that not everybody would have the strength or the resources or the time or the money to be able to pursue that which they believed in, that which they were created for, that gift, that genius that lies inside of each of us. I knew that the greatest source of potential talent lies in the grave. And so, while John was still alive, I presented my business plan, my life plan to him. I mapped it out, put it together. I think 5 years doing this, 10 years doing this, 20, 40, 60 years. And it was something that I feel so blessed to have this experience because John and I never had conversations like this. It just wasn't normal for our relationship. But things were so bad, I had to show him that I was not just some dumb teenager fucking off, not recognizing the value that I had in front of me with the love from my family. And so I showed him my plan, and he got to see it. And when he died, shortly thereafter, I knew that I have to fulfill my mission. Not just for him, not just for my mother and my sister, not just for the future friends and family that I have later on. No, for the world. Because I now knew for a fact, deeper than just my times of facing suicide and depression, I knew for a fact that I'm not the only one that feels trapped sometimes, that has given up on dreams. And I knew the only way to make this happen was to go for them. So last year was the first full year I had in business as a company owner. I made a business in marketing at first. And here I want to speak directly to, at first, the customers of Medusa Marketing. I had been studying marketing for several years, practicing things like user interface, user experience, email, copywriting, advertising, getting into the different aspects of what it takes to succeed in digital marketing. In September of 2017, I officially launched my marketing agency. We grew, we scaled, I began learning and practicing. Things were quite good in the beginning because I was able to manage the details myself. I knew what was happening. I was learning. It was something that I had many brilliant people around me. Unfortunately, some of the mindsets, some of the methodologies by which I was taught, and I'm sharing this because I hope it connects with somebody. I was taught, get out there, bring in some clients, you have a community here to support you, and we'll make sure things are okay. And guys, I want to share this because one of the major lessons that I faced, that I'm experiencing, I'm sharing now here in video to go onto the public web, is that you can only commit to that which you're able to control. Because I brought in a lot of clients. I did, over a period of our first 6 months. And I made my clients many millions of dollars. And unfortunately, I lost tens of thousands of dollars of people. People who believed, people who wanted to have things. And I saw how they could. And because I didn't know the reality of business, which is that there are no guarantees. We have some very smart people with some experience and some infrastructure. And the fact is that there's not a lot of marketers that are willing to go out there and say, as brilliant and experienced as I am, there is no guarantee. All I can do is help better the odds in your favor. So instead, I took on the contracts. We worked. We were having a lot of results, but some of them we didn't. And so the first message is for anyone that was with Medusa Marketing. Maybe you didn't get the results that you wanted, because at one point, I had opened up Kraken Design Co. I had invested in having a team of people that I believed in and trusted to manage the manufacturing side while I managed the marketing, and it distracted my attention. Unfortunately, I scaled too fast. I bit off way more than I can chew, and as opposed to doubling down and becoming a master of my trade of advertising and marketing, I distracted my attention and made a manufacturing plant. I was pursuing from a place of not even passion, just blind greed almost. I just wanted more faster, and I saw that I could, and I didn't think if I should. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not the only business owner who has ever scaled too fast. And so I say this because customers of Medusa Marketing, I'm sorry that this happened, and I recognize that words do not mean a whole lot. Action is what is important. And I say this because for every single person that was there that worked with me previously, you guys know that I held on. I worked for months without additional pay for most of you guys, giving everything that I had and have until there was just not any more patience. And guys, I'm sorry that this didn't work. I'm working towards making sure that there is an infrastructure that can provide a better, more transparent, more credible, more character into the industry of digital marketing. And I'm doing it by being transparent and vulnerable myself. Show me another agency owner who's making videos like this. I say this because it's something where I will still strive and fight to work with you guys. I still see opportunities. I look at most of your websites still, by the way, because I'm looking at how can I serve. Now, where I'm at right now, and I say this because, again, I have a list. I'm going to go through each individual person type. In order to make things right, in order to be able to fulfill the damages of what's done, it is about $1 million. If I wanted to be specific, it's maybe like 880,000-ish total. At the same time, though, interest and legal fees and accounting fees exist. And the fact is that I say that specifically because I don't want you to think that anyone is being forgotten. Customers of Kraken. I made a manufacturing business thinking that I know how to market well. If I can find someone who can build stuff, then perhaps we can move forward. It's a logical movement, I thought at least. I was in over my head. I bit off more than I could chew. Because the team that I brought on had no idea how to actually make the things that we were doing. I was overly optimistic and saw the absolute best in people, not realizing that a person's intention and their action are very different. And so unfortunately, it's something where we had a lot of sales. I saw and thought that a certain number of orders was getting out. I had a marketing agency I was doing my best to run while also building a team internationally, thinking that things were being taken care of in the factory, in the warehouse. They weren't, guys. And I'm sorry. And so I share this because it's something where many of you guys have already received chargebacks from your company. Many of you guys have not. I am in the process right now of having a settlement put together with the U.S. government. Now, we live in a beautiful environment as a country where we're able to have a legal process, a due process. Unfortunately, guys, this process is not instant, and it's damn sure not free. And I say this because for more than 1,000 people that I am going to be serving, that I'm going to be making sure that you receive a settlement back for the mistakes that myself and my team had made. I want you to know that it's going to happen, that we're on it, we're on our way. Suppliers, vendors, the people that were working with us in Kraken, you as well, have not forgotten. Right now there is no money. If you look at my previous videos, there's one where I literally show you how much savings I have that I can't even keep in a bank account because my bank accounts got seized, got frozen. I operate by cash. I'm not able to. And so I share this because it's something where I'm doing everything that I absolutely can. And I'm taking people along with the journey because I know there's a lot of good that's going to come from this. I want to be able to speak to the lenders, the investors. The investors that believed in me, you guys get the absolute best position because each one of you that invested in me, you've been productive and positive. I'm sorry that this investment has not moved as fast as you want. I get it. I was an investor too. I had a real estate deal that was supposed to take 6 months to be able to do a quick flip. And almost 3 years later, putting myself almost in bankruptcy because I over-leveraged myself to make this investment, it finally came back and I got my money back in interest. So I understand the frustration, guys, and I'm sorry. I also know that the vast majority of business owners who fail are not about to go and make sure those investors from before are paid for. Because the fact is, as an investor, we all know that nothing is guaranteed. I share this because I haven't forgotten you. I appreciate you, and you are still earning interest on the monies that you invested. The lenders, you guys have an interesting place for. Because, quite frankly, to look at the types of loans that you guys do, and you know who you are if you're watching this video, it makes it very challenging to pay you back. For example, to seize a bank account. Newsflash. Very challenging for a young man to make money if he doesn't have a bank account and can't open one. So explain that to me. You want your money back. There is no money in the accounts. You seize and freeze the account, destroy my credit, and then where do you think the money will come from? Either way, I say this because it's something where, if you want to understand it, now there'll be multiple videos. I have a mini-series I'll put together. This one is specifically what it's like to be labeled a con man when your startup fails. Lenders, it's something where there was $120,000 at one point that needed to be raised. We had a track record of producing over $500,000 within a period of less than 6 months with a lot of room to scale. And by that point, we actually had our manufacturing figured out. We had a gap. We needed gap funding to be able to put that together. I was offered $80,000, $100,000, $50,000, and then the lenders that stuck through either fell through at the last minute or decided to cut the amount of funding that they were going to provide in half. So as opposed to the $120K that I transparently broke down in the business plan that was needed, we got less than half of that. One amount up front was a third of what it was that was needed. And then daily pays of almost $700 a day on top of fees from what was paid out. Yeah, guys, it's something where if you want to know, and I'm going to create separate videos talking about different lending practices and different types of investments out there. I share this because it's something where I will still make sure you guys are paid back. At the same time, recognize that it's something that it's not exactly a process that it's very easy for me to be able to do so if I'm being crippled from my ability to do basic functions of business such as having an account. I share this too because where I'm coming from a transparent place, I'm going to speak and share the whole picture of what's going on. Because as I'll share, I have a plan. I'm going to make this right. It's something where I'm going to settle. I'm going to provide money back to you. Even if this all is happening. My landlord, oh my goodness, thank you for believing in me. I'm a young man and you saw what was happening. And I appreciate you for believing in me. I will absolutely be paying you back in full plus interest. Please, please continue to have faith, my friend. You can see me now. I have not given up and I never will. I'll go into that more later. And then I want to speak to, that's actually it there for the different types of people as far as are involved with the companies themselves outside externally. So the next thing I want to speak to is the staff. The people that worked with me, the people that were along my side for a while. Many of you, it's turned pretty dark side. Many of you, very close friends, friendships that are now over. And I want you to know, regardless of the things that are said, the rumors that are being spread, I'm going to continue to make sure that you guys get paid back, that there's interest, that you guys also have a settlement involved that allows for you to be able to receive the work of which you deserve based off of everything that's gone through. Again though, just like with Kraken customers, just like with Medusa, just like with investors and lenders, there's a due process, guys. It doesn't happen instantly. The total number that I need to have is about $1 million. What this means, again, like a little less than 900K, but interest and fees exist. It's a thing. And so, because of that, I'm just going to break it down rationally. And this is a lesson for entrepreneurs. I'll get to that next. To make an extra $1 million, first of all, that's more than many people will make in their lives from their business. That's something that most entrepreneurs would dream of being able to do. And I'm going to make this happen, guys. We're going to make this right. To make $1 million, let's just say I have an operating profit margin of about 20%, which, by the way, is over double what the average is in this industry. I believe I can do this. That means I have to generate over $5 million in revenue to be able to have 20% that can be profit. And that's assuming that I'm able to invest 100% of the profit right back into former debts and obligations. I share this because it's something where you're looking at a 26-year-old man with no formal college experience who is working and grinding to study and to build, to create a business to produce a minimum of $5 million to make this happen. What this means is the only possible way to necessitate making that, because, by the way, going out and getting a 9-to-5 job, going to college and graduating and making some six-figure income as a high-end developer or something, I'm going to have to save the next decade or two to be able to make that back. And so I share that, guys, because it's something where, for people who are asking, when will I get paid back? Will it happen tomorrow? I regret to inform you that it will not happen instantly. There's literally $1 million that I will be pursuing to make. I share this video because I'm not giving up. Because I believe in something bigger than myself. I'm here not in business to just make a whack load of money. I'm here because I'm pursuing a purpose, a passion, a dream that I broke down to my dead father. And I committed to. I committed to myself. I committed to my family. I don't know it. I'm not here to evangelize or preach. I'm here to share who I am as a man, So that way, there can be something real out there that people can reference. I strive and commit to continue to move forward to make this happen. And so whether you believe in God or Creator, Yahweh, Allah, Jehovah, in my case, I like to think of it as the epitome of universal omnipotence, the absolute pinnacle of excellence, the manifestation of existence itself, I feel is something that flows through each of us in a purpose, in the form of something that we believe in, that we fight for. And for myself, it's bringing the world's greatest ideas to life. And I say that because what I'm doing now is I'm working for a few companies that my intention is to empower, to utilize the skills that I've gained, how I made other people millions of dollars in the first place, and to double down on that. To not distract myself with a bunch of other things like manufacturing or operations or things that I'm just not that good at, that I don't have experience in. And I'm focusing on what I do know, which is marketing, which is advertising. And I share this because this message is not only for the people who have been impacted by my previous business. This message is also for my current prospects. Perhaps you saw a video of me. Perhaps you received an email or a phone call. Perhaps you're looking my name up right now to see if I'm real, to find out if I'm actually a man of my word. And it's something where, while I am a man that is not without his failures, I am fallible, I am fragile, I have tried something and it didn't work. I would implore you to find a successful businessman who's never failed. I haven't yet met him or her. Find a businesswoman that has actually gone out to do something big and didn't have a period of time where things were hard. A person who came from nothing, built something, and did so in an instant without any challenges. I share this, guys, because it's part of the reality that I want to break down of what it means to pursue greatness, to pursue a purpose, to pursue a passion or a mission or something that invigorates you, that resonates inside of you, that you believe is that which you're supposed to be doing, the thing that gets you up out of bed in the morning and inspires you to take action. Every single one of us has that. And I personally believe that you should pursue it because the world is waiting. And I want to be able to speak and to share that same energy, that resonant frequency is what drives me every single day to be better. And I'm going to make this happen. The last thing I want to share is the difference between words and action. So part of what's taken me so long to make this video is, first of all, it has not been an easy process for me. It's been something that I was broken in every single way. I mean, homeless, living out of a warehouse, eating ramen noodles and discount clementines. Like, that's what I was surviving on for months. And then after that, to take the last bit of cash that I have and to be able to move somewhere that is affordable enough that I can focus all of my attention to trying, unfortunately in vain, to make things right. I was trying to revive the dead, which, by the way, this is a writer downer here for the entrepreneurs. It's a lot easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. Because I spent almost 3 months in vain trying to make things back, to recover that which was lost, as opposed to simply building something new. So, December, January, February, basically just flopping around for survival. Didn't work out so well. March, started to put together a new plan. Picked up some work, got a job. Commission job. Something that would allow me to be able to continue to develop my skills while adding value to someone else's business. April, started to take action, studied, took the little money I made and invested in mentorship, in community. Again, another writer downer. There's a man named Aristotle Onassis that I heard. He was interviewed, and at one point he was one of the wealthiest men on the planet. He was interviewed and asked, if you lost everything, what would you do? And the reporter meant, like, what kind of business would you go in? Would it be real estate? Would it be transportation, distribution? What would you do? And he said, I would invest in surrounding myself with the wealthiest, most powerful people possible. Community, mentorship, knowing that he could create opportunities and that we generate income in proportion to the value that we provide. And so I say that because it's something where when you're going for big things, guys, entrepreneurs, my fellow community members. There are risks involved. Okay, so the last video had gotten cut off there for a minute. The last thing I said is there are risks involved. And guys, I say this not as a way to invoke fear in you. It's to be able to inspire you and encourage you that it's okay. That it's something where if you feel nervous or feel some anxiety about what you're doing, if you think about the thing that you want, that inner purpose, you allow that child inside of you to dream again, and you feel some weird feelings. Yes, that's normal, because it's very real what you're feeling. There are actual risks involved, and there's also solutions. Because when you come from a place that's real, that's stable, again, I don't know what it is that you might consider to be your purpose. At the same time, I know for a fact you have value to give. I know that there's a benefit, there's a skill, there's an idea, there's something inside of every single person that is beautiful and strong. And I share this because it's something where I want for my story to be able to not only, of course, develop and manifest itself into an amazing global empire that's able to fulfill my mission that I've had since I was a child, which is to create something that can empower the world to bring the world's greatest ideas to life. And a part of that is by making an impact on others. So I want to share something. This is a quote that has stuck with me for a long time. And this is mostly for the business owners, though, for the customers, for the previous clients, investors, lenders, vendors, suppliers, landlord, whoever it might be. This can also be something that you can see why. Because we do live in a nation, in a country that values opportunity. Like, this is the epitome of capitalism. It was the foundation by which our nation was built. To be able to go out there and to pursue something, to dream and to build, to have a chance to make a difference. Guys, that is the American dream. To pursue that is something amazing, because I've now traveled much of the world. I haven't seen all of it. At the same time, I found that we have more opportunity now as a species, wherever you are, than any other time in history that I can imagine. Because the fact is now we're becoming more connected. We're finding that there's solutions that can be shared across the entire world. And guys, it is our right to pursue the greatness that lives inside of each one of us. And so when you find entrepreneurs and innovators, inventors, the creators of the world, empower them. Inspire them, encourage them. If somebody in your circle has started to do vlogs and make videos, maybe somebody has a little, some special design that they can make into their clothing and they're trying to sell it. Guys, encourage them. Don't suppress the brilliance of our nation. If anything, now is more important than ever to encourage and promote the entrepreneurs to stand up and to stand tall and proud for the ability to go out and to make a difference. Because it's going to happen no matter what. And the question is, who is it going to be? So, the last thing I want to leave is, this is a poem that comes from Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read the book before, I massively suggest it. It had a huge impact on my life. I read it first as a young man, and it's something that I've kept with me. Specifically, these words. Now, I don't have it memorized because I'm not like, I don't know what they call it, but I'm not that smart. But it's something that the words resonate, and I think it'll resonate with a lot of you. Anybody who has perhaps faced failure, anybody who has an idea, and maybe there's a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of hesitance, because you see the risks that are associated. This poem, I believe, is one of the truest examples of what it means to be able to be free and to pursue something. So here, let me share it. It is, I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon, if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for a dole. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It is my heritage to stand erect, proud, and unafraid, to think and to act for myself, to enjoy the benefit of my creation, and to look upon the world and say, this I have done. Guys, that poem is so powerful. To go and pursue that which you believe. Those dreams, those thoughts, those ideas, to allow the inner child in you to get back to dreaming. Knowing that this is a time that you can go out there and make something. Look upon the world, and I show this. I'm taking action. I'm proving it. I'm not just talking about it, because I'm putting my vulnerabilities right out there for both my friends and my foes to witness and to experience, to realize that this is not the end, that you can step with integrity, that even if you fall, you can get back up. And even if it's $1 million literally you have to come up with to make things better. Fact is, there's a whole lot of billionaires out there. It can be you. So, if there's any questions, comments, if there's any details or additional pieces of the story that you think are particularly interesting, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I will say it's something that, while I do understand the duality and that everything is not always picture perfect, I am going to keep this channel, this brand that I'm building across social media, positive. If you guys have anything negative to say, unfortunately, it just isn't the location for it. The fact is that I'm going to continue working towards this, and making an extra million is not a fast overnight process. There's no silver bullet. And it's something where if you want to be a part of this journey, then let's make it happen. Let's keep it positive. Let's create a spark, a revolution. Let's catalyze that to bring out the best in people. There's enough negativity out there. So thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, y'all, bye for now.